Hey guys, good morning. How are you? This is robmlyon from Service Without Excuses Mastermind Group here on Facebook. Brand new Thursday morning for our episode of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching, episode number 67. And the question today is very much related to what we talked about the other day when it came to delegation and what it mattered and what it meant. So we talked about delegation, the power of it, why you need to do it, why you can't build a business without it. Tied to that conversation is also, I would say, let me get these up here one second. Tied to that conversation would be, should the owner or manager ever actually be in the field doing any of the work that a technician does? Is that okay? Is that acceptable? Is that not acceptable? What would be the reasons to do it? What would be the reasons not to do it? So we're going to discuss that in this episode today. Reasons to have a manager be able to work in the field. The number one reason is to set the precedence, to make sure that all of the technicians or people in the field understand that the manager knows what they're doing, understands what they're doing, and is seen doing what they're doing. So they also can comprehend, hey, this guy actually can do it if he needs to. He's not just a blowhard, or she's not just a blowhard that tells me I should do this, I should do that. This is the reason for it. So that's a big reason. That's big reason number one. Number two is to train people. If you're a manager or owner in the field and you're having a problem over and over again with your technicians, maybe not fully engaged in something and it's a continual problem and you're not quite sure what happened, what the disconnect was, maybe the person in your organization was responsible for training and they weren't quite hitting the mark when it came to getting things done. Maybe through no fault of their own, just was a problem there. You got to be out there to retrain and reinforce the policies and procedures, especially procedures in this particular situation of the company and the reason you need to do it. So there are some very basic reasons to do it. Reasons not to do it. For the most part, it's not your job. Your job is to manage those that are doing those jobs and effectively get them to do what they want or what needs to get done, what they need to have done, rather. And lead and mentor them and delegate to them. Again, that's why we're parlaying it from the other day. Making sure that you are out there supervising and guiding them in the direction of the company values, the company systems, procedures, policies, so forth and so on, and that you're reinforcing the rules that have to be there. Now, I wasn't necessarily a tyrant when it came to you had to do things exactly the same way. I understand that people are going to have a different way of doing it. I just wanted the result to be the same and have the effect to be the same. Nothing that would interrupt the customer's day, what they're about. It wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't make a different impact. But if the result was the same, I kind of let them have freedom and said, listen, I don't care if you go backwards to get it done, if that's what works best for you. I'm going to give you a guideline of what I think you should do, and just like a proper coach, give you some guidance and help along the way, and kind of mold you down the path. But you can still do it the way you want to do it. As long as the result is the same at the end of the day. I may be a person in charge or seen as an expert, seen as a leader in what I'm doing, but it doesn't mean my way is the right way. It could be many ways. As long as the result at the end of the day is the correct way and the customers and clients get the same result, then it doesn't make a difference. So that would be one way you'd be seeing that. Number two, especially when it comes to ownership, if you're an owner, and I gotta go on both sides of this, and you're a small business, maybe 2, 3, 4 people, you're going to get your hands dirty. If you're in the service or the trades businesses, you are probably going to get your hands dirty. You're going to be out there with them every single day. But what you shouldn't get in the habit of doing, if you've got a couple different employees, is being the key guy in the field. You need to be the key guy running the field, not the key guy in the field. And a lot of owners, in particular small businesses, get this mindset, like we talked about with delegation, that I can do it all, I can do it better, and I can do it the best, and I got to be seen that way, or my guys, whatever, won't respect me. If they're not going to respect you, they're not going to respect you, period. But if you could do what they're doing, they'll respect you considerably more. If you can get out there and do it, certainly, as we discussed, it will respect you a lot more. So you don't necessarily have to be out there every single day making this massive difference, being the best of the entire crew. That's just not the case. You just need to be seen as a person that can do it if need to, but the person that's in charge of running the company and making sure that those that work for you, with you, for your company, are engaged in doing what needs to get done. We always go into, if you have a strong leader, you'll have a strong team. If you have a weak leader, you have a weak team. If the person that's in charge, the owner or manager, is not effectively running the organization correctly because they don't really know what they want to do, or at the drop of a dime they want to change their mind to something, you're not going to be a very good leader. And that's going to affect everybody because it's a trickle-down effect. It doesn't matter if it's in business and in music, it doesn't matter. So my whole point of this is you need to be concentrated on the running of your organization, the building and growing of your organization, the mentoring of your organization, whether it's you have a general manager in place, you have enough employees where GM is involved. Usually I'd say a GM is nothing under 10 employees typically in a service business, but there are rare exceptions where a general manager is involved and the owner's not. The owner may have other business interests, but usually nothing under 10 employees to have a GM in an organization. So you need to be seen either way as the person that can run the organization, not the doing of the job. I was guilty of it too because I'm one of those guys that rose up the ranks. So if you're a person that rose up the ranks of the companies you're with, and you were a technical guy, a technician, whatever the case was, and you moved way up to a leadership position and you did it immediately, you might not respect the path along the way. Best and the hardest job I ever had was a lead technician, which means it's a leadership position, but it's not a management position, but it's very close to what would be considered a management position. You're just in charge of all the technicians, and from the field standpoint, from the technical standpoint, they still need to be seen as a leader. And a lead technician in the companies I work for, yes, you can do pretty much everything, and you can do it probably better than most of the other guys, and that's great. And that's good to be seen that way, but it doesn't mean you have to be out there physically doing it. So I guess my whole point of this episode number 67 of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching, is does the owner manager need to be in the field to do the job? And the answer is mixed. If you're a small company, 1 to 4 employees, 1 to maybe 5 employees, you are, but you need to be focused on the running and growing of your business, not in the doing of your business, like Michael Gerber says in The E-Myth. Great book. If you haven't read it, you're missing out. Get The E-Myth. It's a classic now in what we do. So make sure you delegate, like we talked about the other day, and make sure you're seen as the person that is in charge. I'll leave you off with this. When I had my company and I went from the technician to I'm not in the field anymore, I'm in the building and growing of the business, mentoring of the business, what did it make the difference? Was I worried my customers didn't see me anymore and they were going to go to somebody else and I would lose my ability to service them, to make sure that they had the needs and get the best job I felt possible? Yes. And it's a torn subject, but I had the training in the past working and running franchise locations to know that unless I made that transition, the business would never grow. The business would never sustain itself. It would just be me, and me, as the term goes, or you, and you, which is not conducive to growth of a business. So you need to make a decision on what works absolutely best for you. For me, the guarantee that I gave the customers and clients was the same guarantees if I was there. And if they weren't 100% happy with the job that the technicians went out there and did, we would come back gladly free of charge to rectify the situation. If not, we just refund their money. They had no risk in the game other than their time, which was valuable. We didn't want to waste it, of course, but we guaranteed the work, money back guarantee, no questions asked, 100% of the time. Didn't happen very often, but we did have it. Every business has it that offers a money back guarantee. If you have any scalability to your business, it's going to happen. But I got to say, in all the years I had the business, probably less than half a dozen may have asked for their money back for various reasons. Sometimes it was mistakes we made, and sometimes it was mistakes that we probably didn't make, but it was the customer's perception. At the end of the day, my focus was on doing the job right for them. So much so that some of them actually referred other people to me because I was a person of my word and our company had the reputation to do it. So a manager or owner doesn't necessarily need to be in the field for the most part. They need to be seen as a person that can competently mentor and grow and train the people underneath them, and sustainably be able to hold those technicians or other people accountable if you're in a lead position. If you could do that, then there's no need to be in the field. Now, you get a flu epidemic and some technicians call out, you're going to have to throw in your time there and make sure it happens. But it doesn't necessarily happen to be that way. So my general rule is if you are an owner and you have a manager in an organization, you should not be in the field. You should be in the capacity of mentoring, growing, and training, and sustaining those company values, company policies to make things happen. So that's today's episode number 67 of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching from the road. And I appreciate your time, and we will talk to you tomorrow with a brand new episode. Have a great day. It's a little bit nicer here in New Jersey than it was yesterday. It was pretty rough. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.